Sounds great. Very great, actually.
Alright, so we're going to join a modern league with our trusty Death and Taxes. After the Pro Tour this weekend, I'm not really sure how good this deck's going to be. I mean, hopefully not everyone is playing Eldrazi, but I don't know how many decks can beat like 3 2-power guys on turn 1 with no mana. If anyone watched the semi-finals against LSV, it was a pretty dire Pro Tour in my opinion. I haven't played Magic Online for a very long time. I think the last time I played was about 6 months ago. So, should be fun. This is a pretty reasonable hand. I mean, we have turn 1 Vial, which is always the best thing. And then we have Arbiters and Ghost Quarters. It's always fun to mess with people's mana. I'm the worst kind of person. Looks like we're on the play as well, which is great. I think the harder matchups for us are usually things like Affinity or Twin was pretty unreasonable. Most of the time people didn't really respect having anything, so they'd just go for it. Twin wasn't that fun, and Black-Green X decks are pretty dire for the deck. No one wants to play against Jund or Junk. Their cards are better, their removal is better. It's just not a fun matchup to be playing. There are ways around it, like I think Sean Nolden's plan was always to just mana screw them out of the game instead of actually playing a real game with them. That was a legitimate strategy, I guess. Okay, so our opponent doesn't want to play. He's not coming. He's still deciding whether he's going to mulligan or not. I mean, what else do we have in our deck? Like, hopefully we draw a couple of planes. Maybe if we can draw some Blade Splicer would be good actually. Get some bodies on the table with our Restoration Angel. It just creates a lot of pressure. Again, not ideal against 5/5 Eldrazi's, but we'll see. I'm actually playing a couple of extra Cavern of Souls in my list, which I don't normally do, but there was lots of Chalice of the Voids being played, and no one likes to get Chalice of the Voided. So we're going to start with Aether Vial. Off of basic planes, so it should be pretty obvious to our opponent exactly what we're up to and what we're playing. Fetch lands is always good for us when we've got a hand of Arbiter, Mind Sensor. Haven't seen very many Flooded Strand decks around for a while. Maybe it's just an off-color fetch, but the blue-white decks haven't been very popular. I think it's quite fun to play, but I don't think it's so popular at the moment. Serum Visions, okay, so he's probably either the blue-white tap-out control or blue-white-red flash. Like if it's blue-white-red, that's worse for us, I think, because they have substantial amounts of cheap interaction with paths, sliding helixes, that kind of stuff. The blue-white control deck, we're going to have to play around Supreme Verdict, but we do at least have our Aether Vial to get under all of his counter magic, his Romans, Mana Leaks, that kind of stuff. We're just going to whack this out here. So if he has any other fetch lands in hand, he's going to have to deal with our Arbiter first. And then next turn we can double Arbiter with the Ghost Quarter, which means he has to pay 4 before he can search. Sorry, he's playing at a reasonable pace. Okay, it's blue, white, red. That's not great for us. The vile fake outs. I do this every time when I play, because I play Death and Taxes in Legacy as well as in Modern. And if you're not activating your vial every turn, then you're doing it wrong. Main Flicker Wisp is a great draw. Love me some Flicker Wisp action. Let's begin combat. Then if he tries anything, we can vial in the second Arbiter. I think I'm actually just going to hold both up. So I'm going to hold up the Arbiter and the Mind Sensor. I mean, if he goes and pays 2 to fetch this turn, then we can get him with both Mind Sensor and Arbiter. If we wanted to. You know, we could really screw his mana up. I'm also running the new Eldrazi Displacer in this deck with 4 Ghost Cores, 3 Tech Edges, and some Cavern of Souls. We have a lot of colourless sources of mana. And the blink effects with Restoration Angel, Flicker Wisp. And I think there's a Mangara in this list as well. It's pretty tasty. Okay, let's activate this, see if he has any response. Yeah, let's just destroy this white source. He can't pay 2 because it's obviously 4. I mean, he can bolt 1 guy, but then still has to pay 2 anyway. So it's not getting off lightly this game. Right, let's tick this up. Now we've got Flicker Wisp to save our guy from removal spells, and we've got Aven Mind Sensor if he has a fetch land. So we'll battle for 4, which I think is a reasonable clock. I don't think we really need to commit anything else unless it's necessary. Like, oh, we have a fetch land that he can't pay for. That's great. Young Pyromancer. Okay, well that's getting pathed. Like, Snap being pathed. That's quite a difficult card for us to beat. He can't search either, so we're not losing any value. We've currently got him on a 3-turn clock with these 2. We'll put him on a 2-turn clock with the Aven Mind Sensor, which I think I'm going to do. I think that's sensible, because we still have Flicker Wisp and Resto. So let's just put this in. I'd be pretty salty right now if... oh, there we go. Yeah, he's conceded. I'd be pretty salty if my opponent blew up my land and then stopped me from looking for others too. Okay, blue, white, red. I like Crucible in this matchup. It's usually quite grindy, but he did play Young Pyromancer, so I don't know if he's more of a tempo deck. So let's get some Celestial Purges, Mark of Asylum. I think we'll probably take the Core Firewalkers too. Don't think we want to dismember. I don't think we want to pay that much life. I don't think I want a Fiend Hunter this game. Keep the pass. I mean, other creatures he could have. He could be playing Geist of Saint Draft, or he could be playing Monastery Mentor. Geist is obviously... we can't answer it with our removal, but it's pretty easy to block with our Blade Splicers, etc. We have a lot of ground. We can cover the ground pretty well. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm not sure what else we want to cut. I don't really like Setter Avenger. It's only there for the sake of it. I mean, he's better in Modern than he is in Legacy, and Legacy it was just an answer to True Name Nemesis. And I've actually cut down from the 4 down to 1 or 2 depending on what the expected meta is in Legacy. I prefer to play a lot more controlling version of DnT. I play like 3 Mangaras most of the time. Big fan of Mangara. I like removing people's lands. I also like playing lands. Fans is also a really fun deck to pilot. What shall we get rid of here? He's playing lots of cheap interactions, so we want the Vryn. Sword of Fire Ice seems great in this matchup. I'm actually just going to shave a Judge's Familiar. I don't think it's particularly high impact. Alright. It's a pretty reasonable hand. I mean, like I said about having the ground covered, like he's not getting in for any attacks with this. You know, we've got Cavern on Human, which is all three of our creatures here get to resolve, whether he likes it or not. I mean, we don't have any interaction, like turn 2 Young Pyromancer is going to be a problem, but I think we're okay with it. I mean, I don't even know what counter magic he could be playing, because we didn't see much from him last game. We saw Serum Vision's Young Pyromancer, which died on sight. Chances are in this kind of deck is probably just Ramon's, maybe a Spell Snare, and that's such an incredible draw. I'm so happy. Sometimes you just... Why was Modo never like this for me when I used to play? It's like turn 1, draw the vial. I can't even do that on paper. I have a set of turn 2 vials. My dear friend Seraphim Wellinger, he's used to getting the turn 1 vial, and he always moans at me when I don't have it. He popularized the green-white hate bears list a few years ago after winning Bazaar of Moxen, I think undefeated, with a crazy final against Blue Moon where he got to slam a choke on turn 3, I think, against a tapped-out Blue Moon opponent. His vials are definitely always turn 1. Mine, I'm not so lucky. Alright, so he's missing white mana at the moment. Like I said, we have a Young Pyromancer. Maybe he has Git Probe? Yeah. Okay. Thankfully though, Thalia's pretty good at beating up these little 1/1s with her first strike. There's one thing I think a lot of people forget about Thalia, specifically in Legacy if they're not used to playing against Death and Taxes, is the fact that she has first strike. Everyone knows about the non-creatures costing more, but they'll usually attack with, you know, like make silly attacks like Shardless Agents and stuff like that, and then vialing in Thalia or bouncing her with Caracas, or just having her up on defense. She just gets to eat creatures for free, which is always great when you're playing a resource game. You know, being able to get ahead for free without people realizing is really nice. Death and Taxes is always a deck that starts behind, in my opinion. Like, your cards are worse, but your synergy is much higher. So if you can get all of the cogs in the right place. Cavern of Souls is, yeah, Cavern of Souls naming. Oh, well, this is a new feature for Magic Online since I last played. I get to pick human without having to search through all of these crazy different... Sweet. I mean, I'm sure there's been more than one occasion where I've clicked Brushwag instead of something else. So let's add a white with this, make Thalia. Yep, human spells are uncounterable. And then we'll just pass a turn. So next time I think we're probably just hardcasting the Blade Splicer. We just want to try and keep parity on board before we get overrun with tokens. It's a real shame that Absolute Law isn't modern legal, because all creatures having pro red is pretty nice against Young Pyromancers and Lightning Bolts. Alright, so what we got? He's on 12 already and I haven't attacked, so we're doing well. Alright, Lightning Helix on Thalia. Okay. That's why he doesn't mind taking the shotgun damage. Alright, that's not ideal, but our tokens are bigger than his. Swag this up to 2. Oh, that's a good draw. Love drawing extra Thalias when he just killed the last one. Always feels good. Let's make white. Alright, we have an uncounterable Blade Splicer and a Thalia in the bag. He's going to have a fun combat step if he manages to kill our Blade Splicer. There's probably arguments for doing that in my turn, so that he can't actually play another Lightning Helix unless he draws a land. That was probably correct, but it's been a while since I played. I'm gonna make excuses for poor play, I think. I wonder if he's playing Delver of Secrets, or if he's just on a Young Pyromancer value plan. I don't really know. Still haven't seen enough from his deck. The one card that we really don't want to see would probably be, is it Statocaster? Statocaster is never a fun card to play against when you're playing Death and Taxes. Just no attacks. That's pretty okay for us. So we got another Blade Splicer in a minute, so that's just going to be like 10 power on board for nothing. We'll also have Vial on 3. In fact, I'm probably going to hold up. No, we'll just leave the Vial on 3 for the Mind Sensor, and then leave the Ghost Quarter up, play the Blade Splicer. So we're going to empty our hand, but I think we're significantly further ahead now. This is also pretty good against cheap spells, so I guess we'll play Ghost Quarter, and then we'll just pop him for 3 with our first strike Golem. He's just going to chump block, so at the moment he doesn't seem to have an answer for that. Let's play another Blade Splicer, making white. Human spells are uncounterable. Okay, I also don't think we have to worry about board wipes from a Young Pyromancer deck. Oh, there's the Statocaster. That's a problem. Oh dear. Alright, well we can't beat this card, guys, so that's GG, boys. That's, awkward. So he's going to take out both our Blade Splicers here, but we are still left with 3 power guys. He's going to also kill our Thalia next. This is really bad for us. We have to draw Path next turn, because everything we have dies to this Statocaster. Yeah, maybe I was a little bit too greedy. A bit too hasty on the 1 toughness, guys. Drawing Mark of Asylum would be fine. If we can't... Oh, engine... Oh, of course. We have an Engineered Explosives for 0 as well. Alright, so he's just wrathed our entire board. I was just saying that we don't need to worry about board wipes. Well, guess I was wrong. We'll leave this. We've got mana for strong draws. I like it. Let's force him to crack this explosives now. Yep. Okay, well, I'm also not going to commit any of my creatures to the board with a Statocaster there. We're not under an insane amount of pressure at the moment, so... Celestial Purge we sided in as well, which is always good. We've got some outs to Statocaster. I played a lot of Statocaster when it was standard legal. I played Pedal to the Metal, which was the Reanimator with Nightshade Peddler. Is it Statocaster in the deck? That was great fun. I played it in Blue White Red Flash, 4 main deck, so that we could just block and kill everything. I then played it in Blue White Red Flash in the sideboard when the Boros Reckoner deck was pretty popular. If anyone remembers that from the RTR standard. That was when I first really got into standard. I started playing in Innistrad, and then the RTR Innistrad block standard was probably the most fun I've ever had playing Magic. I was playing a budget version of Delver for a while. Then I jumped onto to Bant Birthing Pod, which was absolutely ridiculous. Being able to make a Bird of Paradise into an Elesh Norn in one turn was pretty satisfying. And having multiple Frost Titans in your deck through Phantasmal Image and Phyrexian Metamorph and things like that was also pretty special. That was a good deck. That was the new Phyrexia Innistrad, just before Return to Ravnica. And in Ravnica I played a lot of 4-color or 3-color. Played a lot of Prime Speaker Zaganas as well. That card's one of my favourite cards. I think we're just going to have to take 2. There's no point losing our creature to the Izzet Staticaster yet. Like I said before, there's not a great deal of pressure. What did he do with his Serum Visions? He... both on top. That's not fun. Nope, don't want to tick up Vial just in case we draw a 3-drop. There we go, that's nice. Now we can actually block with this. We can block and we can also blink out some of his tokens as well, as we have the colourless mana from Cabin of Souls and Ghost Quarters. Vendilion Click. Ugh. Alright, well then we'll just activate this now. Yeah. Just put in an Eldrazi Displacer. He can look at my hand if he wants. He'll probably choose himself and draw the card that he put on top, but it's safer to... I should have waited for the trigger there. Just getting ahead of myself on Magic Online here. Because now I've just given him a free draw. That was quite bad. Oh, he is targeting me? Okay. Or is he targeting himself? Puts triggered ability, targeting Flutchy. Okay, so maybe he wants my Mind Sensor. Yeah, I think maybe I should have waited for the trigger to play the Displacer. It was just sequencing issues. Because he already knows my hand from the Gitaxian Probe, he could have got away with drawing a free card that he had put on top. Because he's just left both of those in my hand, so he's got no value from his Vendilion Click. Which I'm perfectly okay with. If we draw another land, we can actually just start exiling tokens. I know it's not a clean answer, but it's at least gonna help us maybe draw into something else. Lightning Bolt, of course, can't even target itself. All right then. I guess we'd just blink a token. Out of colourless. I mean, he's getting another one anyway from the Lightning Bolt, but sure. Bad beat. Okay, so my thoughts are that we just remove this video from the set, because this was played horrifically and we lost pretty badly. And then what we'll do is we'll just, win the next game and then say that we won 2 in a row instead of went 2-1. That's I think the plan for this this one. All right, what we got? Give me something good. Ooh, that's a good one. We got basic planes. Let's concede this game. Let's go straight to the next one. Don't want to waste any time. Okay. Maybe we should bring the Spellskite in. Maybe that was a mistake to not to. I don't think we want to Arbiter this guy. Definitely want Sarah Avenger against his silly little pinger. Don't want the Judge's Familiar, that dies. Might even bring in the Wilt Leaf, just going a bit bigger than he is now, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure this is correct. We are on the play, so maybe we want to be a bit more aggressive, but I'm just really scared of his Staticaster, so that's why I want the Wilt Leaf Legion and some of the 1 toughness guys out. Sword of Fire and Ice is going to be great in this matchup. Wildy Fleet is great in this matchup. Spellskite is going to be great. I don't know why I didn't bring the Spellskite in before. That was a oversight on my part. Well, we didn't really know what he was playing. We had only seen a Pyromancer and a Serum Visions. I haven't played Modern in a while. I've been favouring Legacy because I don't like losing to Tron, and all of the decks I like to play tend to lose to Tron, and there's a lot of Tron players here, so I've been avoiding Modern for a little while, which isn't really helping. We're definitely keeping this. The Core Firewalker and the Thalia should do some work. I think we'll probably lead with the Thalia. We have another turn 1 Vial again, which is great. Yeah, I've been playing lands in Legacy recently. We have proxy Legacy nights here at Gameplay, so we get to play some cool decks. You know, it's just unsanctioned Legacy. We get to play whatever we like. So I've been playing my good friend Alex Mortimer's lands list, which he top 8'd GP Lilworth, and then just went to the Pro Tour this weekend. He deferred his initial invite to go to the Modern one because he was at so we're probably getting spell snared here, which kind of sucks. Again, pretty greedy of me to just jam it, but yeah. Yeah, he took Burn to the Pro Tour. He made day 2, but I'm not sure what his overall standing was. It was his first PT. I think he's pretty happy with making day 2. I know I would be. I've been trying to get on the Pro Tour for a little while. I kind of stopped this last like 6 months, I guess. What we got? Why is he stopping in my upkeep? Does he have a disenchant, or are we fine? No, we've got 2 counters on it. He just wanted to fetch. Okay, so then he's just playing around Arbiter. I'm actually going to try for a Blade Splicer here. I just want to be a bit aggressive, put some pressure on him. So that resolves, which is great. And then next turn I can actually... I'm going to Vial in the Sarah Avenger next, I think, before the Core Firewalker. He's on 16. We got a Helix here. Okay, that's fine. I'm also probably going to leave my Vial on 2 for now, just so they can sneak the Core Firewalker in again afterwards. I don't want either of these 2 getting countered, really. He seems to be quite hesitant on turn 3, so maybe he's missing his land drop, or he's got some sequencing to do. I'm not really sure. Alright, come on, Great Nate, what you got? Maybe he's really afraid of our Blade Splicer. Waiting for him to pay costs. What for? What have you got? No, he's cancelled that. Okay, so yeah, he's definitely either tanking or didn't draw the land that he was hoping for. I'm not sure why he went for basic planes over a Hallowed Fountain either. Taxium Probe. Okay, you can look at my hand. So one thing in Magic that was, I think, a little bit busted was the Phyrexian mana. I think potentially it might have been too good. During Standard, Gutshot was pretty crazy. Taxium Probe, Mutagenic Ghost sees a lot of play. Dismember sees a lot of play. I think all of them do. I mean, Volt Scourge sees a lot of modern play. Yeah, there's a lot of Phyrexian mana that work its way into Magic, but that's what happens when you give people free spells, you know. The Mental Misstep ban was pretty funny. A friend of mine, he was speculating on cards before I started playing. He bought a lot of Mental Missteps at I think about $4 each. He bought 40 of them, and then they got banned. So that was an oversight on his part. He was trying to get some. Oh, we got Bolt for my Sarah Avenger. Yeah. Okay. That blows. Right, so let's have removal for all of our creatures so far, and then a really poor, really poor use of Thalia. I should have just waited. Should have not played anything. Waited a turn. Used the Vial for it. He knows I have the Plains, so I'm going to play that. Yeah, I've played this a little bit poorly. Definitely could have sequenced better. Letting someone get value with a Spell Snare and you've got Aether Vial in your deck feels pretty bad. That was not ideal. Hopefully he doesn't have a path for our Firewalker. He doesn't. He's Lightning Helixing where? My Blade Splicer. Okay. I'm just going to activate this, see if he has any response. He doesn't. So we'll just gain a life. Yep, please. And then that'll take a Lightning Helix. I mean, he can't attack, so that's fine. Drawing a sword right here would be really nice. Drawing the sword would be absolutely insane. We've got a Wiltly Fleege, which is also pretty solid. I think we're just going to hard cast this. There aren't any 1-mana counter spells for creatures in a blue-white-red Pyromancer deck, as far as I'm aware. So we're just going to jam this. It's going to make our Firewalker a 3/3, which we can now start to race. I'm not going to be blocking any of his creatures for fear of bolts. I don't want to lose my Wiltly Fleege. So I'm probably not attacking with it anyway. At the moment, it's a 4-mana Honor of the Pure. As bad as that sounds, it's you gotta do what you gotta do, right? He didn't even attack into it, so that, I think, to me suggests he doesn't have a bolt. Because otherwise I would be swinging tokens into it myself. In which case do we... Yeah, we'll just clock him for 3 again. It's a 4-turn clock. I don't think it's worth trading the Wiltly for his board right now. I'm also going to hold the Tech Edge up just in case there's like a Desolate Lighthouse or maybe a Manland, something like that, Colonnade. There's no point wasting our Tech Edge on his mana because he has all the colours. He's a little bit flooded right now. We also have 6 lands, but he's looked at a lot more cards than we have. He's definitely flooded, which is great for us. We've got a path, beautiful, so we can snap path this Pyromancer. If he doesn't have a counter spell, then we can pop him with our Wiltly Fleege as well. Yeah, let's see if he's got a bolt. I think he would have used the bolt by now. I think he's just running chump blocks. Yeah. So no bolt from him. He's just running chumps on a Wiltly. Yeah, he's really flooded. Happy days. You gotta better be lucky than good, right? Oh, well, that's a game changer if I ever saw one. Okay, so he has to have a path and either a blocker or another removal spell for our Wiltly. Don't think he's winning this one. I mean, it's never fun to win when your opponent is flooding out or mulligans to 3 or something, but that's part of Magic. The variance is you know, like, definitely part of. Oh, we have got Mentor. Alright, we do still have a game. Does he have any spells? I don't think I want to. Do I want to play the Resto into a Cryptic? That's the only question, is whether we risk. Like, if he has any counterspell, then it makes a body, and we lose our Resto, or we can just commit it, force him to have an answer. I guess we're doing that one. We're going to target the Woodleaf Liege. No? Okay, cool. Return to the details. Yay, so we won our first match. I think we're probably just going to jump straight in for another one, so just going to pause the video real quick and then take a quick break and then we'll jump in for another game.